Hi everyone, or should I say Ohayo gozaimasu, or konnichiwa, or konbanwa, depending on what time you're watching this video. In case you haven't already figured it out, today I'm going to focus mostly on Japanese games, and even more specifically Japanese fighting games, my absolute favorite genre of video game. So we just started off with a video of Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z. If you're not familiar with that game, it's the latest Ninja Gaiden game that does not star the hero of the series, Ryu Hayabusa. Rather, you have Yaiba, who's this more badass, cybernetically enhanced ninja, and you'll notice you're fighting a lot of zombies and breaking up zombie weddings and all sorts of other mayhem. If I didn't know any better, I would swear this game was being made by Suda51. You might know him from the most recently it was Killer is Dead. He did Lollipop Chainsaw, the No More Heroes series, which is my personal favorite. And a lot of other just weird, crazy games. But anyway, Yaiba looks to be interesting. It's actually a collaboration between Team Ninja and some other studios. So there's an American half to the development of this game, Spark Unlimited. Not too excited about that, considering the last game they just did was Lost Planet 3, which wasn't very good. But I have hope because on the American side of the development, it's being head up by Keiji Inafune, who is, of course, the legendary creator of Mega Man, was at Capcom many years, had his hand in the creation of a lot of games, including Dead Rising, so it's not surprising with the zombies and everything that Inafune would be working on this game, or more specifically his company Concept. Concept you probably know from Kickstarter. They're doing the sort of spiritual successor to Mega Man, Mighty Number 9. And in the spirit of Dead Rising, they have put the hero from Mighty Number 9 in Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z. So you can wear a bat costume and knock the heads off of some zombies. Japanese games, y'all. So on the subject of Team Ninja, their games haven't been all that great lately. Ninja Gaiden 3 was kind of a letdown. Metroid Other M was not good either. It's mostly because they lost their studio head quite a while ago. Tomonobu Itagaki. You probably know him as that Japanese guy with like the bad skin that always wears the sunglasses with the long hair. He left to form his own studio quite a while ago. So Team Ninja, it took a while for a new leader to sort of step up. Dead or Alive 5 is actually pretty good, so maybe there is hope for Team Ninja yet. There is an arcade release of Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate, and there's a new character in the arcade release, so we'll play the trailer for her right now.
私の名はマリーローズ。血のバラ咲かせてあげる。余裕でしたね。もう小さいからって舐めないでよね。
So what you'll notice about Mary Rose is she is the tiniest character to ever be in a Dead or Alive game. in more ways than one. So it's kind of interesting. They do list her as 18 years old in her bio. I think that's just to sort of avoid any kind of scandal. Let's see what else is her info. She is from Sweden. Her martial arts style is Sistema, which is a Russian fighting style, and her occupation is a maid. Oh, and her blood type is AB. She's 4'10", 86 pounds, and her measurements are 29B, waist 22, height 30. For those of you that actually care. Oh, and her hobby is sewing, and she likes to watch horror movies. All that just from a fighting game character. Again, Japanese fighting games. Now, if you've been keeping up with Tekken, since the release of Tekken Tag Tournament 2, they have released a free-to-play Tekken called Tekken Revolution, only on PlayStation 3. This is mostly just taking assets from Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and repurposing it into just a one-on-one fighter. And they promised that they were going to introduce at least one new character for Revolution. And they took to Twitter and held a poll. It landed up third place was Shin Kamiya, which was the wimpy male character from the last CG Tekken movie. And number 2 and number 1 was tied between sexy female Tekken Force character and sexy female vampire. Surprise on that one. With the vampire eventually winning. Just this week they showed the trailer for the character. Her name is now Eliza, and we'll go ahead and play her trailer.
Unrelenting night. I could use a drink. Stay still. Stay still. Was that too much?
So the estimated release for Eliza is December 19th. That's probably going to be on the Japanese version of the game. Usually takes them a little while to apply updates to the American version. So let's examine this character a little bit. Very interesting that she has a normal fireball. That's something that has never been in Tekken before. I mean, you've had characters with projectiles that are like charged, unblockable moves that are slow and easy to dodge. This is just like a viable fireball that you notice her popping up Devil Jin and juggling him with it. It's most likely their prototype character for the upcoming Tekken Cross Street Fighter. We know that's been in. It was actually announced the same time as Street Fighter Cross Tekken. They just haven't really been ready to show anything on that game yet, but we know it's coming. It's probably going to be next gen. We might even get it as early as next year. So it's been a pretty interesting year for Capcom fighting games. It's the 25th anniversary of the original Street Fighter, so they've been doing a sort of year-long celebration with a bunch of tournaments, culminating with Capcom Cup this weekend. They're going to be showing Ultra Street Fighter at Capcom Cup. There could be some reveals going on. we might get to find out who the mysterious fifth character for Ultra Street Fighter 4 might be. My money is still on Go Hibiki, who is Dan's father. Wouldn't be too hard to just take Dan's character model and slap a Tengu mask on it. Not that I would know anything about that. But we might find out what Hadouken Cabs is. We know it's got to be some sort of exclusivity deal with Sony. Cole from Infamous was a playable character in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, so who knows? Maybe the new guy from the new Infamous might be a Sony exclusive character for Ultra Street Fighter 4. Speaking of Street Fighter, if you have a couple $100 laying around and you need some new artwork for your walls, there's an art dealership called Cook and Becker. They're actually international art dealers. So they describe themselves as next-gen art dealers, which immediately is pretty awesome. As you can see, they have just launched an official Street Fighter art collection. And you can get some museum-quality prints of Street Fighter artwork. All the original artists are represented, so I'm sure you're seeing Akiman, Kinu, Edayan, who is really more of like from Street Fighter EX and Rival Schools games. And, you know, the other guys, CMYK or CMRK, whatever he changed his name to, is he used to be Bengus. And mysteriously, no Shinkiro on this. He came from Capcom after doing like the King of Fighters artwork and a lot of stuff for SNK, so maybe he's not really a true Street Fighter artist. Who knows? But these things look really nice. Like if I had the money to blow, I would. I particularly like this Sakura. You know, if you've played Sakura, you know that's exactly what she says. And you can get them framed or unframed, and they come certified and signed by Yoshinori Ono, even though he's a producer on the game and has absolutely nothing to do with any of this artwork. So besides Street Fighter's 25th anniversary, now Virtua Fighter is celebrating its 20th anniversary, and they have loaded this 20th anniversary site. Pretty interesting. Well, I shouldn't say pretty interesting. I should say pretty bare bones right now. So they just have like some trailers, or not trailers, just videos of the old Virtua Fighter games. Probably the most interesting thing right now is an interview with Yu Suzuki, who is the creator of Virtua Fighter. He left Sega quite a while ago. I think it was 2011. So he wasn't involved in the last Virtua Fighter 5. But he still has like an advisory role at Sega. So I'm sure, yeah, he has maybe like some very minor involvement with the series. Maybe we're going to get a Virtua Fighter 6 announcement. It's always been a showcase of technology. I remember when Virtua Fighter 3 came out in arcades, there wasn't even a home system that could handle it. Saturn was the current Sega console at the time, was not strong enough to run Virtua Fighter 3, so you had to wait until the Dreamcast came out for them to sort of release a updated port of Virtua Fighter 3. Also interested about Yu Suzuki, he's going to be giving a post-mortem on Shenmue this year at GDC, translated by none other than Mark Cerny. So that should be very interesting. Shenmue is another game that, God, I wish they would finish, considering they left off Shenmue 2 the story is not finished yet. I would really like Yu Suzuki to finish Shenmue, but that doesn't seem very likely. But hey, maybe we'll get a new Virtual Fighter at least. Oh yeah, and another very cool thing that you will want to watch on GDC this year, they're doing their first ever studio postmortem with some ex-LucasArts guys, including Ron Gilbert. So that's going to be very, very interesting. They're going to talk about how LucasArts was formed and how originally they couldn't touch like the Indiana Jones license or Star Wars or anything. I think for probably like the first 5 years of the studio's life, because those licenses were currently out to other developers. LucasArts made some of the best games ever. You probably know Tim Schafer from Double Fine. He sort of came a little bit later in the life cycle of LucasArts, and the spirit of the studio sort of lives on through him and Double Fine. So besides Ultra Street Fighter 4 next year, and possibly Tekken Cross Street Fighter, and possibly Virtual Fighter 6, we do know of a few other games. The home version of the arcade update to Persona 4 Arena, Persona 4 Ultimax Ultra Suplex Hold, I think. If you look at my video archive, I actually archived the live stream when they revealed some of the new details for this game. It has 2 more Persona 3 characters, Yukari and Junpei, I think that's his name, the guy with the baseball bat, and a new character, Sho Minazuki, who could possibly be a Persona 5 character. We'll have to wait and see about that. But besides working on that, and Blaze Blue, Arc is making a new Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear Xrd or Turd or something like that. It's actually quite amazing. If you haven't seen the debut trailer that they released quite a while ago, I'll play that right now.
やはり口で言っても無駄か。
分かってんじゃねえか。なまってねえだろうな。上等だ。
So the real cool thing about this new Guilty Gear is you can see it's 3D. Even though it starts off looking exactly like the previous 2D Guilty Gear XX games, it is actually running on the Unreal Engine. Very cool stuff. For the most part, the characters have been redesigned. It's gone through a couple of location tests in Japan. And there's been one new character revealed so far that is pretty interesting, and he's kind of linked to the new Tekken character. His name is Bedman, and he's a sleeping guy that's nailed to a bed. As you saw from the Tekken trailer, Eliza is a narcoleptic vampire that randomly falls asleep. So it's kind of weird that there's 2 Japanese games with like characters that are falling asleep now. I don't know if there's secret meetings or there's like this bar in Japan where all these fighting game producers hang out at after hours, but I guess that's a new trend in Japanese fighting games. Xrd will be coming out on both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 next year, as well as arcades first, obviously. There's kind of a resurgence in the Japanese arcade. They've been trying to really get people back in there, and I can see why. Fighting games are always best when you're sitting either next to somebody or across from somebody live, one-on-one. I've very fond memories of stacking your little quarter up there on the corner of the machine for your turn, and especially for me as like a little skinny teenage kid that I was whooping these guys that were easily twice my size, and there were a few times where my physical safety was in jeopardy, but great memories, and I'm glad to see the genre living on, especially Japanese fighting games. Next year looks like it's going to be a fantastic year for fighting games. Now, if only PlayStation 4 actually had a fight stick. That's what I'll end on. Actually, my big story from this week, surprisingly, was the CronusMax, which is an adapter that will literally let you use any USB controller on any console that supports USB controllers. I didn't phrase that very well, but basically you can use like a Xbox 360 controller, including a fight stick, on like a PlayStation 4, or you can use like a PlayStation 3 controller on an Xbox One. You can even take a Wii U Classic controller and use it on different systems, and there's even support for first-person shooters with keyboard and mouse. So you can play like console Call of Duty with mouse and keyboard and kill everybody super easy. So how cool is that? Haven't seen too many impressions of it yet. Actually, this morning there just went up a video that I'll link to of a guy's review where he's only really testing it on Killer Instinct on Xbox One, which maybe isn't the best game to judge input lag, considering it has like auto doubles and stuff, so your timing doesn't have to be too tight in your button presses. But I'm still pretty optimistic about this device. Hopefully next year Sony will just either patch the firmware on the PlayStation 4 to support like PlayStation 3 fight sticks, or somebody will finally get around to making a fight stick for PlayStation 4. Same on Xbox One. Really, your only choice is the mod controller, or buy the $200 premium Killer Instinct fight stick, which is very hard to come by. So even if you have that money, go buy some awesome Street Fighter artwork. Don't be a victim of these peripheral makers. We should be able to use our old fight sticks. There's no reason why these new systems aren't compatible with old controllers. It's just stupid. So on that stupid note, thanks for watching this week. I think there will probably be at least one more Regurgitated news this year. Maybe I'll do like a year-end wrap-up or something. Currently going to be doing a slew of reviews for Game Skinny of all sorts of stuff. So be on the lookout for that, as well as a new series I'm working on that I just animated a 3D sub for. So I'll let you guys ponder what that show could be about. So until next time, see you guys later.
So now on to Ultra Street Fighter 4. We do have some special announcements here today. I do want to preface things that we are not going to be revealing the 5th character just yet. Sorry, guys. That was kind of expected. We do have something very special planned on how we're going to reveal that character, so just stay tuned. It'll be right around the corner. We do have some new stuff to share today, so we're going to kick things off with a world premiere of the latest trailer for Ultra Street Fighter 4.